The Consumer Electronics Show, also known as CES, is one of my favorite tech events of the year, and for a really good reason. There's literally tech everywhere. In fact, it's one of the biggest tech expos in the world, and I'm looking forward to showing you here in this video all of my favorites that I've found on the show floor throughout the week. Back in October of last year, Scout Motors surprised us with their Traveler SUV and Terra truck. And I'm really glad they brought these out to CES because I've got to say, they look even more exciting in person. Now, while these are both electric vehicles, Scout actually has given us a very unique approach as there's actually an onboard gas generator to further extend the range. Now, unlike a plug-in hybrid, the generator is simply recharging the battery, so you're still using the electric drivetrain at all times. So I really think this is the best approach. Now, these vehicles do come with the NACS plug, which is awesome, but my favorite feature definitely has to be the optional bench seat, which you can have in the first row, which allows you to seat 3 people in that first row. So I'm super excited about this brand and both of these vehicles, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about them in the future. It's not a visit to CES without seeing John Deere's latest innovations, and this time around, they really brought a lot to show us. Now the first thing is, they have a brand new EV tractor. So not only is this tractor self-driving with autonomous technology, but also it is completely electric, which is really cool. Now this dump truck is probably the largest dump truck I've ever seen, and that's because it's meant to be used in a rock quarry. Now John Deere also added their autonomous technology to this dump truck so that it's able to pick up the load, drive out of the quarry, and then autonomously dump the load as well, and then go back and repeat the process. So this is a process that's typically very monotonous, but because of this technology, many parts of it are now automated. Another favorite of mine is this electric lawnmower, and what's cool about it is autonomous, but if you want to, you can also ride on the back of the mower, and you can manually control it as well. And then at the end of visiting their booth, I climbed up to the top of this massive tractor, and I especially find it impressive that they're able to fit this tractor in the convention center. Now this segment of the video is sponsored by Aiper and their new Scuba X1 Pro Max robotic pool cleaner. Now, if you're not familiar with Aiper, they're a brand that's all about making your life easier, and their slogan is, "Bring vacation home." Aiper takes the worries away from being a pool owner so that you can spend more time enjoying your pool and less time maintaining it. Now, Aiper has already launched a series of robotic pool cleaners over the last several years, but the Scuba X1 Pro Max really takes things to the next level. What really blew me away is how thorough the Scuba X1 Pro Max is. This robotic pool cleaner can literally get to every part of your pool, from the floor to the walls, and even to the hard-to-reach corners. Aiper has created what's called OmniSense Plus 2.0, which is the super advanced mapping system with 40 ultrasonic sensors. The device plans its cleaning path intelligently and adapts as it goes, and what's especially amazing is that it has 9 motors that really give it a lot of power. The suction can process 8,500 gallons per hour, which is really impressive. And then on top of that, they have the patented micro mesh filter that can catch even the tiniest debris. So the result of this is that your pool is going to be looking spotless. The Scuba X1 Pro Max has some really cool features that make it especially effortless to use. For example, it has the FlexiPath 2.0 system that adjusts its path based on the pool's layout. Plus, there's an auto mode that changes the suction power based on how much debris it detects. And the entire device is cordless, so you don't have to worry about any wires, and it lasts for up to 10 hours. So really good battery life. A feature that I found to be especially brilliant is the homecoming dock. Now this lets you retrieve the cleaner using their app, and you can also get the optional HydroCom Pro system that monitors your pool's water quality in real time, and it also checks for pH and temperature, and it'll even give you maintenance tips. Now we're also getting a wireless charging dock, and there's also the Aiper Caddy, which makes it very easy to transport the device. Aiper also announced at the event that they're now the official robotic pool cleaner of the Arizona Diamondbacks MLB baseball team. The Aiper Scuba X1 Pro Max will be available in mid-February at an MSRP of $2,299. And that includes a wireless charging dock. And for a limited time, if you subscribe on Aiper.com and join their Facebook group, you'll receive a limited time $200 coupon. But thank you Aiper for sponsoring this segment of the video. Now LG's booth was full of a bunch of good stuff, but there were several things that especially stood out to me. The first one is, there's this suitcase that has a monitor inside. I really like the versatility that we're getting here, and in addition, there's a built-in speaker, so you can pretty much take this setup with you anywhere, and then you're good to go. LG also released the second generation of their Stand By Me with the LG Stand By Me 2. Now Honda revealed 2 new electric car concepts, and these are especially interesting with some very different styling, almost unlike anything that I've seen before. Now some of the highlights with these vehicles that make them unique is that we're getting steer-by-wire steering, which you can find in the Tesla Cybertruck. The cars are also packed full of displays on the inside. And in general, I think Honda was really curious to know what the public thinks of this new vehicle form factor, because both of these are definitely very different. Now, in addition to that, we also got an update from AFEELA, which is a joint venture from Sony and Honda, which created this electric car. Basically, they are going to be building the car in Ohio, and they showed us an updated version of the prototype. Now, the car is called AFEELA because you can customize the whole experience to give you the feeling that you're looking for when driving your car. So there's displays all throughout the inside of the vehicle. In fact, the front of the vehicle is also a display, and you can customize all of that with various themes so that you can truly make the car your own. But I think the next step is that I really want to get behind the wheel of one and try it for myself. So is Samsung making boats? Well, kind of. So now the SmartThings platform supports boats, and boats of any size. It could be a cruise ship, it could be a yacht, it could be anything. But the point is that now you can pair up various accessories that are unique to marine life with your SmartThings ecosystem. So now you don't have to have some old antiquated system managing your boat. You can do everything from just the SmartThings app. Now Philips is really promoting their new door locks, and for a really good reason. They now have palm entry as an option, which is really interesting. And I think what I find even more intriguing is that the same camera that's used to detect your palm and figure out if it's you or not to unlock the door is also the same camera that acts as the doorbell camera. So this is really awesome in my opinion, just because they're taking something that already exists, like you have to have a camera for your video doorbell, but then they're adding another functionality to it and making things even more seamless. So I've used Palm Checkout before at various stores such as Whole Foods. It always works really well. It always knows it's me. So I feel like this is a really nice addition for a doorbell on the front of your home. I'm a big nature person, but I don't always want to go out to nature to see nature. Now the good thing is you can just set up one of these bird feeders from BirdFi in your backyard, and then the camera will pick up the birds that are going to the bird feeder. So I think that's pretty awesome. Definitely something that's more of a fun tech piece to have. You know, it's not essential to be able to take videos of birds in your backyard, but I think this is really interesting just because it's showing how we're able to use cameras and the internet and Wi-Fi and all of that to kind of further connect us with what's going on, even with birds surrounding our homes. And finally, this is Zoox. Now, I wasn't able to go inside, unfortunately, because there's quite a line, but this is Amazon's self-driving car robo-taxi startup, basically, and it's meant to be a competitor to Waymo. So I know that in certain cities, this is starting to pop up, maybe not necessarily in the same cities as Waymo, at least in my home market of Phoenix. I've not seen Zoox yet. But this is really exciting, and I think this pod type of vehicle really is the future of self-driving rideshare. But that concludes my CES 2025 highlight video. This was definitely a really awesome CES. For me personally, my best CES so far. And this is my 6th time going to CES, so that's really saying a lot. Every year definitely gets more and more exciting, and the best part is just interacting with the tech community as a whole. So without all of you, I wouldn't have even been able to go to CES, literally. So thank you everyone, I really appreciate it, and stay tuned for a lot of awesome content coming up.